What's up, guys? Today is going to be a cool fishing tip. It really is. I was in the boat and I took it for granted the other day. I was in the boat fishing and the guy looks at me and he goes, "Man, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting out the backlash in the spinning rod." He goes, "That is the coolest thing I've ever seen." And I got to thinking, I said, why haven't I shared this with the David Dudley outdoor fans? Today is going to be teaching you guys how to save your braid, number one, or fluorocarbon on your spinning reels. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we've all had that spinning rod backlash. Well, I'm going to teach you how to get out that spinning rod backlash. Hey, look, there's a table full of mess. Well, we've cleaned up that mess. We've got the one wall of plastics back organized again. And we got the wall of crankbaits back organized again. And you can see the setup. Actually, there's a cowhide right there. And this is really cool. This is a pie ball, okay? The pie ball that you can see where the entrance and exit was at right there. Pie ball, pretty cool. Got that tan. Of course, I know you guys want to see that wall of all those baits. And of course we got, who is that guy? That be me. This is pretty cool. We got Perfection Lures has pre-rigged Neko worms, which always includes using a spinning rod. So now you're going to actually see the behind the scenes setup before we start this video. Our lighting, we got our spinning rod. So let's get started. Okay, we've all had that backlash that happens in a spinning reel. Most of the time we know backlashes happen with bait casters. You hear the thing called a bird nest. Well, actually with spinning rods, it happens the same way. We've all had those spinning rods ball up on us, get all tangled up. You end up cutting off 50 yards of line because it's such a bird's nest and you can't get it out like you can a bait caster. Bait casters are very simple. I ain't gonna say very simple, but relatively pretty easy to pick out unless you just blow it up to where it's a bad backlash, okay? Spinning reels do the same thing, but I'm gonna show you something that is so cool. So the other day I was out there fishing and I had a little backlash happen in my spinning reel. The guy looks at me and he goes, "Dude, what did you just do?" He goes, "That's the most genius thing I've ever seen." And it really is simple, and I took it for granted, and I was just like, well, I never thought about showing my David Dudley fans, so I'm going to show you how, very simply, to get out a spinning reel backlash with no complications, very easy to do, and smooth and simple. So let's talk about a spinning rod backlash. How does this happen? This happens because you may have threw your lure out there and flipped your bail open with a lot of slack. Well, with a lot of slack in your line, what's going to happen? You start to reel and you didn't look down, you saw, and you reeled up a section of your line that was just loose, twisted up, and then you go to pick it apart. What happens? You flip your bail, and then you're trying to flip it apart, but when you do, it starts getting into a tangled mess even more, okay? So what I'm gonna do is show you simply how to get out this backlash. Step one, and it's really a one-step process. Step one you're gonna do is simply back your drag off, okay? Loosen your drag up all the way, right? Once you have it loose, then you're simply just gonna take and pull the line free. So with your drag all the way loose. So here, look. See, the twist is still in it. If I would have flipped the bail, it would have really complicated things. See how it's not tangling? It's not pulling the line off. Now imagine how much line I would have lost if I had tried to flip my bail and pull it off. So see how we're pulling it off, pulling it off. Here we go. Man, that was a big cast. All right, so here it is. Here's the twist. you simply pull out the twist and we're done. This little trick now, of course, we're gonna tighten our drag back up. Put our hands, whenever you do this, take your hands and put it above your reel. Just simply reel it all back in. Be careful not to get tangles in it when you're reeling it back in. And there you have it. Let me tell you about another tip that's going to help you save your line that's already on your reel. A lot of times you're going to get knots in your fluorocarbon, monofilament, or braid. You can simply see this knot here. It's where your braid is doubled over. It's got a little knot in it. Now, I can just simply cross my fingers, pull it, and hopefully it's going to come loose. Or if you have a knot that's gotten pretty tight, simply always wet it, okay? Always wet it. Now that it's wet and it's got the good juices on it, we're simply gonna pow. You see it come loose like that? When it's dry, it adheres to itself, like it just cinches down a lot tighter. So one tip that you can always use is lubricant from the spit of your mouth, or you could, if you had oil, you could probably use oil, but either way, make sure you lubricate it, pull it, and most of the time it comes out just with simply using a little spit. Another way of getting out knots is simply taking a hook. You can just reel up the lure you're using, preferably a thinner gauged hook. If you do have a knot that might have gotten cinched down tightly, simply take your hook, go into the knot, and pull. Now, depending on whether you're using monofilament or braid, you can loosen that knot up from it being extremely tight. Do the same thing. Take lubricant, wet that knot and all the line that will be going against it, and simply pull, bam. The knot came out completely just by using a hook. A lot of times that knot is going to get really tight, really cinched. You may have pulled too hard on it trying to get it out, and you're like, dadgummit. Take a hook with a sharp needle point, a thin gauged hook. Make sure you go in between, loosen that knot up a little bit to where she can be uncinched, and that'll help also using that technique. Guys, if you're not really good with a spinning rod yet, or you may not use it a lot, I put out a video not long ago on how to cast like a pro. It's an instructional video that you can go back and watch, and actually I'll put the card or the link right here. You can click on it and watch. I teach you how to use a spinning rod correctly, how to be more accurate with a spinning rod, just, you know, everything from skipping to casting to, it's a very instructional video. If you haven't seen that video already, you can go back and watch it. Guys, I hope you use this technique, guys. It is a fabulous way of getting out your spinning rod backlashes without creating a huge bird's nest. Guys, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Thank you for watching this video and subscribing, and I will be back at you very soon.